We really tried very hard to get as close to the original as possible, and it's from his own biography. One of the things that's different about the movie version is that there's a whole lot of information in the book, and we sort of centered on this one section of the book, which was about his recovery, his accident and recovery, sort of after his childhood and like before his kind of development as a professional cartoonist. He was a storyteller, and in being a storyteller, he seemingly would change things a lot. So we always, I think, were suspicious whether or not he really experienced some of the things the way that he was telling them. He could, I mean, in the tapes that I was making for research, he was telling completely other stories. And I think that they all were based on reality, but he liked to spice them up a little bit. So you see the things that are in our film, I think, are with the spice and not without the spice. We took advantage of the spiciness. And we're not really even sure whether that's true spice or fictional spice. I don't know if he had a souped-up wheelchair or not, but he had a very fast wheelchair, and he would, I always thought, go very fast down the street. This is one of the visible things about his life, was that he was always speeding down 21st or 23rd Avenue in Portland, very, very fast. I mean, 20 miles an hour on the sidewalk in front of storefronts, and he often had accidents, and I always thought it was his way of having fun. You know, like he couldn't skateboard necessarily, he couldn't necessarily ski, but he could go very fast in his wheelchair. And we didn't really cover it that well. We have one little bit where he's going.
Gus was telling me yesterday that the thing to do when you do interviews is just answer what you want to say. Like, don't answer the question, just say what you want. And he just did it. And I was really impressive. It's amazing. I want to learn how to do that.
There you go.
I think every movie feels different, even when you work with somebody that you're familiar with. But there are some qualities that Gus has that are consistent. Obviously, that he's just makes you feel really comfortable. It's kind of the least stressful set that I've ever worked on. I think we had a lot of fun on this movie, didn't we?
Yes.
We did, right?
I think so, yeah.
I'm not accustomed to that with every movie, but it was really enjoyable, and working with Jonah, and it was great. When I go to film festivals, I just show up and I do press, and that's it. So I usually hate film festivals. And last night, Gus was, what was it? Gus was doing the, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Talents, this program.
The Berlin Talents.
Oh, Berlin Talents. Got it. And it was really amazing. So I went along to watch, and I saw like all these young filmmakers and people that were curious about the process, and hearing Gus speak and seeing these clips. And I had like a real appreciation for a film festival, and it's odd that I'm so old, and it's the first time that I ever really experienced a film festival, like for what I think it is for a lot of you. So I was grateful for that experience.
For me, it was very important because Gus discovered me in Berlin when he showed his first film, Mala Noche, and he invited me to be in my own private Idaho. Of course, when you're German, your name is Hans. In Japan, it's Hans Mann, so it's always the Hans. And when we worked together, and with River Phoenix, his brother, and it's for me one of the biggest actors, and now working with his brother was a pleasure. And my name is again Hans in the film, because Hans never left Portland, and he lost his hair and became old, but he's still Hans, and he became an alcoholic. and he goes to the meeting. So I'm just want to say that, and I'm very honored to be in this movie. And Joaquin, you saw the movie, gave such a great performance I have hardly ever seen.